Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal, and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And in today's Coffee with Crystal, we are going to have a discussion on a few frugal tips and frugal ideas, and a couple of things just to kind of discuss, and I'd like to have your opinion too. I've got some stain removal tips, one on fabric, and the other one is one that I'm going to ask you guys about and see if you can, if anybody's got some good tips for me. Anyway, let's, grab your cup of coffee and let's have a chat. So I am sitting in my dining room at the moment, and we're still not moved in, which, it's only been a few days. And this weekend, my daughter and her husband and some friends are going to be moving more of their stuff out. So, I'm just kind of not doing a whole lot other than cleaning until they get their things all moved out. As you can see, maybe behind me, I've got a bunch of Legos back there and just different things that are still put here and there. So the house is pretty empty again still. Like I shared the whole story last video, if you haven't seen that. So because there's no furniture in here, it kind of echoes. So if my voice sounds like it's echoing, that is why. So I spent yesterday tackling the kitchen, and I got it pretty much all done. Today I need to finish cleaning out the refrigerator. And it's got one of those freezers that you pull out, and it's got a basket at the bottom, and of course things fall down to the bottom or drip down to the bottom on occasion. And so it really needs to be cleaned, and it is so hard to get to because of that basket. I asked my husband, I said, could you see if there's any way that you could remove that basket for me so I could better get down there? Well, not only did he remove the basket, he was able to remove the whole door and everything. So I'm like, whoa, okay, that's going to make it much easier. Plus I'll be able to, give that door a good cleaning on the bottom and things like that. So anyway, that's one plan for me today, is to get that refrigerator all cleaned out. Once that's done, I think pretty much, I haven't cleaned the oven yet, but the oven isn't really that bad, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I think at this point, I'll be able to start, moving some of my stuff into the kitchen. The next room I'm going to tackle is the bathroom, and get that. Curtains need to be washed, windows need to be washed, wipe off the shelves, etc., that kind of stuff. So like I told you in my last video, this is a slow process. We're not really, feeling like we've got to rush to do it. So I am taking my time. And, as I'm pushing 60, I just don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours a day cleaning. So I'm going to take it. I'm taking it slow, plugging away here and there, and still keeping up on my daily to-dos that need to be taken care of. And one of those daily to-dos is figuring out what's for dinner. And so that's usually how I get into these Coffee with Crystals, is asking you guys, what are you all having for dinner tonight? I had, because we've had so much going on, I had picked up some orange chicken from Costco. So, and there's like 2 bags of it in the box with the sauce. It's really good. We enjoy it. And I made that last night with some noodles, and we still have enough from just one bag I made, and we still have enough left over from that. So I'm going to reheat that. I've still got some cherry tomatoes that my neighbor gave me. I've got some cucumbers. I'm thinking maybe I'll make a cucumber salad to go with that. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of where, but definitely the leftovers. So that makes one less stress for me. So let me know what you guys are having for dinner. Put it down in the comments. I would love to know. You guys have been so great. I've had so many people put in their suggestions or what they're, actually having for dinner. I love it because I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. Oh, that sounds really good. So I hope you guys take time to read through the comments and see if you can be inspired for something exciting for dinner as well. So I wish I had filmed this so that I would be able to actually have a visual for you, but I had a shirt. It was a navy blue t-shirt, and it ended up with some stains down the front of it. I wasn't even sure how it got the stains because I'm always have an apron on, but it could have been food that got dripped down or something that spilled and I didn't realize it before I put the apron on. That could be. My usual go-to stain remover is Dawn dish soap or a combination of Dawn dish soap and vinegar. I find that that usually gets out any kind of stains. So I went ahead and did that with just the Dawn dish soap and put it down the front of the shirt with, I don't know, maybe there were 3 different spots on the front. I washed it, dried it. When I pulled it out, it actually had like now 5 stains on it. I have no idea. Has anybody ever had that happen? I could not figure out why that would happen. Maybe I didn't use enough laundry soap. I have been reducing that, and so maybe that was a result of that. I don't know. I just couldn't figure it out. I was really surprised when I saw that. So, and disappointed because I like basic colors. I'm a pretty simplistic person when it comes to my wardrobe. So, a navy blue t-shirt is, I like that. So I didn't want to really have to toss the t-shirt because of it, or just use it for, dirty work or something. Anyway, so I decided to try shampoo because I've heard shampoo makes a great stain remover. So I went ahead and squirted on some shampoo onto the front of the shirt, scrubbed it in, and went ahead and washed it and threw it in the dryer, pulled it out, and every stain was gone. So that is whatever causes the stains, plus they had been through the dryer. Anyway, so if you have hard to remove stains, try shampoo. I couldn't believe that how well it worked, and maybe because shampoo has more of a degreaser, and if there were any type of grease stains, that might have been it. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm telling you, it worked. Oh, okay, that is my stain tip for you this morning, and the next one I have is a question from you guys. I mean, I should know this after having a whole lot of kids, but I have crayon on one of my living room walls, and my living room is my next room after the bathroom to go in and, give it a cleaning. The whole wall really needs to be painted, but right now I don't really want to take the time to do that. That seems like a great winter project, and maybe it'll be something I do this winter. But for right now, I just wanted to clean up this crayon scribble on the wall. I have tried vinegar, I have tried Dawn dish soap, I've combined the 2 of them and tried that. I didn't really want to scrub too hard because I didn't want to also, by removing the crayon, remove any paint as well. I later thought, oh, maybe I should try the shampoo on that. Who knows, right? Anyway, if any of you have any tips for removing a crayon from the wall that doesn't also remove the paint, I would love to hear it. You can put that down in the comments if you have any good ideas or good tips for me. Okay, I had 2 different topics I wanted to share today on frugal ways to save money, things that the first is on auto repair. So, getting a car fixed today is expensive. Now, if you have like a more modern car, so much of it is computerized that you pretty much have to take it in to have, a lot of things done. However, if you drive an older car and you need to have some work done on it, it can be really expensive. So my daughter, the one that moved to Arizona, was having, I think, some issues with her brakes, and she had one other issue as well. So she called around at repair shops to find what it was going to cost her to get it looked at and get it repaired, and she was just like, there was just no way. It was so expensive. So she was really kind of trying to figure out, okay, well, what is a better option? So she called a mobile auto repair. They drive to you, assess your problem, fix your problem, and it's over and done with. You don't have to take your car in anywhere. And you would think that something like that, at least in my mind, I would think that something like that would actually be more expensive. But she said it was half the price of having taken it to a shop. And she said the guy did an amazing job and she would definitely hire him again. So there's an idea if you haven't looked into that. Also, when my son, I have one son that he kind of is a nomad. He has an RV and he works remotely, so he travels all around. So he was on the East Coast earlier this year and ran into some problems, and he also had a mobile mechanic come to him, and he was surprised that it was as reasonable in cost as it was. So that's my tip. If anybody else has anything to share on that, please do. If you've ever used a mobile mechanic, I would like to hear that too. Of course, my husband, he was an aircraft mechanic and he didn't know just how to fix aircraft. He also knew a lot about cars. So he always kept our cars running and did all the maintenance work on all our vehicles himself. So it was never something that I really even thought about, but listening to other people talk about it, it's like, yeah, not everybody has a mechanic for a husband, and people are looking for ways to find deals on auto repairs. The other day I was thumbing through Amy Decision's book, The Tightwad Gazette, and I've talked about that book a lot. And somebody brought up, the concept of unplugging your appliances to save money on your electricity bill. And so I was like, does that actually save you any money, number one? And number two, is it really all that significant? So I went searching on the internet because, of course, Amy Decision's books were written in the 90s and, things have changed a lot. So where is this at now? Does it actually save you money? And how does it save you money? So I found it really interesting. Some people can say that it could potentially save you up to like 10% at the end of a year on your electricity bill. But the trick is to determine what kinds of things are going to be a savings if you unplug them, and what kind of things just simply aren't going to save you anything. So basically, what I gathered as I was reading this is anything that is using power while it's plugged in, even if it's not being used. For instance, if you have a coffee maker that is pre-programmed settings, it's got a clock running, it has a setting so you can have your coffee already brewed for you in the morning. Those things are taking a continuous draw. So that will cost you money even if you're not actively using it. Even things like an Instant Pot that has an LED display on it, that is going to continually use power. Something like a toaster, it's basically on or it's off, and that isn't going to save you any money to unplug it. A space heater, same thing. It's not going to save you any money because either the heater is on or the heater is off. Now, if it's set at a thermostat level, then of course it could come on as the temperature may drop in the house. So you really have to analyze each individual appliance and find out whether it is drawing power while it's not even being used. I found it interesting too. I have wireless phone chargers, and I have 3 of them, and I have them plugged in 3 different places. And usually if I'm going to set my phone down someplace, I set it on one of those wireless chargers. Well, even if those are not being used actively, they are drawing power. Same with a computer. Even if you put it to sleep, it's going to draw power. So the big question though is how much, and is 10%, for a lot of people that may not even be worth the hassle of unplugging and replugging things back in. And to know what exactly is something costing me to leave it plugged in. And so my husband, who's very handy, aside from cars, he also has done lots of home repairs, and so he has something called a watt meter. And I grabbed it out of his toolbox so that I could share it with you. Turn it the right way. And this is what it is. And it plugs in to a wall outlet. And then on this side, you plug in your appliance or whatever it is that you're looking to see. How much power does that use? And then you can leave it sit there for 24 hours, and it'll show you in 24 hours how many watts this used. Now, if your electric bill is a big thing and you really are trying to, scale that back down, then something like this might be handy. He does a lot of electrical things, repairs, and we've had rentals in the past and things like that. So I don't know what the current price is. I think they're about $30. So, it may not be worth it if you end up not saving that much by the information. But if you like data and you want to know what you might be saving, you might want to look into a watt meter. Also, if you have a family member that's, handy and might have one, you could just borrow it for a week and then try it out on different appliances. Okay, I'm looking over my list, and it looks like I kind of chatted with you guys about all the topics I had quickly written down this morning. My brain is so involved in trying to get things cleaned around here and in preparation to get us all settled in here again. I mean, there's still so much. Right now, sitting over here to the side of me, I have a washer and dryer and that is in my dining room because I didn't want to put it into the laundry room yet. My laundry room has a floor that was put down probably in the 70s or something, and it has been ripped and torn and repaired, and I've put rugs over it. And my husband was saying the other day, he said, instead of, getting that in there quickly, getting the washer and dryer in there quickly, maybe we ought to consider right now, this would be a great opportunity to redo the flooring, pull that up and put new flooring down in there, and maybe give my laundry room kind of a revamp. So that may happen. I still have my little tiny, stackable washer and dryer that I've been using. So I'm in no hurry really to get that done. So we'll see how that project goes. And I've also found as I'm getting ready to move back in, it's kind of a weird thing to, have lived here for so many years, 25, 26, 7, I don't remember. We're getting up there close to 30 years to have lived here all this time. And I always had a set way of doing things and organizing things. And a lot of it was based on the fact that I had 8 kids, a big family, and did a lot more things in the house than I do now. And so now I'm like looking around, and especially in the kitchen, because I was cleaning it yesterday and thinking about how I would want to organize it and what would I do different. And so that's kind of those kind of thoughts have been going through my mind. Also, like curtains and things like that. I have curtains that I've had that were hanging up here. My daughter had removed them and put up her own things, which was perfectly fine with me. And now I'm like, do I really want to put 20-year-old curtains back up on the window, or do I want to do something else, make my own again? So it's almost like, in a way, like starting all over again, going through and deciding how you want something to look, how you want to decorate, what you want to do. So those kinds of thoughts, I've had a lot of that going on in my head too. So, and like I say, as I get to things, I hope to be able to share that with you. So all that said, right now, my big goal today, of course, is clean my refrigerator and start working on the bathroom. So I am going to end this video now and get busy in there and get that refrigerator washed and get ready to start getting some of my stuff back into my kitchen. I hope you guys all have an awesome and blessed day. And of course, don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up. That really helps the YouTube algorithm, comments help, and all that stuff. So I really appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. Anyway, okay. Again, I hope you guys have an awesome and blessed day. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.